And away we go. And it is a good afternoon. Another special edition. We've been waiting for this bad boy. We created this idea a couple months ago and we said, you know what? Let's get it rolling for this moment right here, right now. Phillies Red October starts tonight. It's game one, taking on the Marlins. Looking forward to breaking down tonight's matchup. Of course, I am Sean Brace, Daily Ticket, Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. on The Gambler, and our Phillies insider for us on The Gambler, Mr. Luke Arcani. Luke, your emotions right now, where do you stand as we are recording this at about 1:15 here in the afternoon?
We're about 7 hours away. I'm starting to get that giddy feeling you get when one of your teams is back in the playoffs. It feels kind of like last fall where it was just Philly straight in the Eagles. It felt like there was something going on every day. So it's exciting. It's extremely exciting. The Phillies are back to try and officially redeem what they lost last year, and it's going to be an exciting night at Citizens Bank Park. I will be over there in attendance. I am extremely, extremely excited.
Luke's going game one. I'm going game two. Are you going game two as well?
As of right now, no. Okay. I would love to find my way there somehow, but as of right now,
stranger
no.
things have happened. Yeah,
Exactly.
stranger things have happened. It's a Red October. This is
if
where
they win the night. If they win the night, it may have to be a purchase.
You know, one of those memories that I have, many memories of that 08, 07 to 08, 09, 10, 11, you know, all throughout those years was just how expensive it was to the bank account. The hit that it took every fall.
My bank account last October was just, I mean, all it was beer and Phillies tickets. That's it. All for a month straight.
And this is way before the legalization of sports gambling. So now we're adding even another wrinkle.
It's even worse now.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's pick some winners for the people here. First of all, DraftKings Sportsbook. Be sure to use Brace as the promo code. Let them know that you're listening to us here on The Gambler. We got 4 games. Can't wait to hit on them all quickly. But of course, our focus is on the 8:08 last game of the evening. Jesus Luzardo getting the start for against Zach Wheeler, minus 162 for the Phillies. Luzardo plus 136. Total coming in at a low 7.5. It's tied. There's 3 games out of the 4. There are 7.5 totals. Diamondback and Brew Crew, believe it or not, are in there at an 8 number for a total. All right. First things first, I want to ask you this. Luzardo, I actually saw somebody on my timeline saying that they didn't like the matchup. Now, we went over it on yesterday's podcast, and we went over his numbers, and he's been okay. I get it. He's got the wins to show. He had decent starts against the Phillies, but nothing earth-shattering. One thing that I do know, and this is credit to Bob Wankel from his Red October newsletter this morning, Luzardo doesn't give up home runs to left-handed hitters. So if we're looking at this game from a gambling perspective, finding those players, of course we believe that the Phillies are going to win here tonight, right? Like, I don't think you're going to get Luke or I to say that the Marlins are going to come out on top. But from a prop standpoint, what players are you looking at? Because Luzardo is really good, especially against hitters that are lefty here. I'm wondering, where do you stand as far as righties, looking at the righties to come up and have a big night here, game one at Citizens Bank Park?
So I am really looking at 2 players tonight, Trey Turner and Nick Castellanos.
Nice.
I think Nick Castellanos is really hungry. I think Trey Turner obviously has had a great second half. These 2 guys have been probably your 2 best righty hitters on this team, in Castellanos and Turner. So I am going to look at the righties tonight. It is going to be tough to look at props for left-handed hitters. You can always look at Bryce Harper no matter who's on the mound, especially when it's the playoffs. I would stray away from your other lefties. I don't love Schwarber's props tonight. Do I think there's always a chance of him hitting a home run? Yes, it's Kyle Schwarber. All he does is hit home runs. But like you said earlier, Jesus Luzardo has allowed just 3 home runs to left-handers all season. Just 3 home runs and 8 RBIs all season to left-handers. So it's going to be tough for these guys tonight. That is why I am looking at really specifically, if you want to take 3 guys, you can really look at 3 guys. Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, and Trey Turner. I am looking at Nick Castellanos to hit a home run tonight. I really do like the odds floating around that. It is at a plus 450 on DraftKings Sportsbook. You can also look hits tonight if you are looking at that. Johan Rojas to record a hit is minus 135. That's been something I've kind of been going back and forth with a lot. I think I'm going to look at that as well. Alec Boehm over 1.5 bases. You could look towards that is at plus 125. RBIs. If you are going to look at a lefty, I really do like Bryson Stott. He has really good odds for an RBI tonight at plus 290. So that's something you could maybe look at as well if you do want to look at a lefty and if you want to look at any of the young guys. But if you're going to take player props for tonight on the Phillies side, I really would look at the right-handed hitters. And if you're going to look at the Marlins side, obviously you have to look at their big names, Jorge Soler. It feels like a Jorge Soler home run is coming at some point in this series. How much will it play an effect on the game? I don't know. But it feels like he's going to hit one at some point at Citizens Bank Park. Whether that's tonight, whether that's Wednesday, I don't know. But I would always keep an eye out for Soler to look at guys like Luis Ariz, who has been the NL batting champion this season. He seems probably like a lock to always get a hit. So I am sticking more towards the right-handed hitters tonight for the Phillies, but anything's possible with this team.
Yeah, I'm with you there. A couple quick notes, just as far as I'm concerned. Casty has my attention. I'm right there with you. Looking at his total bases, nothing too crazy from that number. But if there's a guy that I want to produce, and I think it would be huge for this team that he gets going. Look, I think Bryce Harper can go up there. I think Stock can deliver all that, but this is a crafty lefty they're going up against, so I'm a little reluctant. But Castellanos has some decent numbers. I know that you're going to have to lay some juice, but I think they're fair priced, and this is a guy that really didn't have the best postseason last year. So I'm sure that ate at him a little bit. Big time first half. We know the story so far this year. Don't need to rehash that. Also, Trey Turner, you brought up. The number is total bases, 1.5. If he gets 2 total bases, you're coming home plus 125. So you're getting Trey Turner at plus money on DraftKings.
A lot.
You have to like that.
One
Especially, other thing I would.
He hits a ball in the gap tonight. He is flying around those bases. If he hits a ball into the grass at any sort of speed, you cash your bet right there. He's getting on second.
Alec Boehm, and again, credit Bob Wankel throwing this out there on his newsletter. If you don't subscribe, I mean, it's Red October. I don't know why you don't. Luzardo has owned Boehm, 1 for 11, 4 strikeouts. But of course, we know that Boehm has turned it on just a little bit. Finished the regular season hitting at 303 and 903 against OPS against left-handed pitching. He was 6 of 30 down the stretch. Again, I don't really put too much stock into that in those last couple weeks, last couple games. But this is playoffs. We know who's going to show up. It's going to be tough from top to bottom in that lineup, and especially I don't care who's got to step up in a pitch hitting spot either. The Phillies will be ready. I don't think this is going to be close. I really don't. I think the Phillies blow the doors off the Marlins.
I don't either. And
I think they blow the doors off them.
Luzardo's good, but the Phillies are just way better. Like that's the bottom line for me.
They're not going to get to him. And then when they do get to him, what happens, right? Like we talk about this game in the sense of Luzardo going deep, 7, 8 innings. What if that's not the case?
What happens when he allows 5 earned runs in the first 3 innings? What happens then? You know what I mean? Because then they roll and this game turns into 10-1, 10-2, 11-3. Like it's going to happen. Once they put runs, they're going to keep coming all night. And we know that, and we've seen that last year, and we've seen it all regular season.
Yeah. My good friend Jared Smith does a number of things out there in Vegas, VSiN, Fox Sports Radio on the weekend. He's a big YRFI, NRFI guy, and he's done it all season long, 2 seasons in a row, track the data. He believes that if you bet the YRFI in every game this postseason, the units that you will come back, you will come out on top. Tonight for the Phillies and Marlins, over half a run. So will there be a run scored in the first inning? It's at plus 105. The under, no runs in the first inning, minus 140. Again, is it necessary for this Phillies team to come out here and put numbers on the board in the first inning? No. Would I bet against them? Hell no, right? Like, Schwarber's going up there gassed. and he's going to be swinging away. Good luck. He could put one straight away out of the park. He can hit one off the wall. He can hit the gaps. He can line it through, in between first and second base for a base hit. I don't know. He could also strike out. I'm not willing to put my hard-earned money on first inning props here, but for the totality of the game, love Trey Turner, love Castellanos to deliver in some manner. And you got to come back to Wheeler. Let's talk about the pitching in just a sec.
There's one more hitting prop here that I do love. Speaking of our two guys that we're looking at tonight, DraftKings has Trey Turner or Nick Castellanos to record a double at plus 200 tonight. So if either of those guys hit a double, you cash. So that may be a play I'm going to look at as well on there.
Okay. From the pitching standpoint, Luzardo in strikeouts 5.5, Zach Wheeler 6.5. I could see Wheeler going over that number. Your thoughts on Wheeler and his strikeout props?
Yeah, I do like Wheeler tonight. I think he's going to float sort of right around that number. If I had to guess, I would tend to lean towards the over. I think Wheeler's going to have a really good night.
How many innings does he go?
I think it's probably a 6 1/3, 6 2/3 type of night where you get 2 1/3 innings out of your relievers. Who that will be, we'll find out based on matchups and stuff like that. But Wheeler has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 outings in the last 3 months where he's gone over that number. So yeah, I would probably lean towards the over. I don't think it would be by much, but I do think Wheeler is going to have a good night tonight. Granted, because I truly don't think this Marlins lineup is that good. I don't think they're really anything to write home about. I think it's a great opportunity for Wheeler. I think Wheeler gets a lot of favorable matchups based on the hitters that are in this Marlins lineup. So I would look at Wheeler's over 6.5 Ks tonight, and I wouldn't really get anywhere near Luzardo's because, like we said, there's a really good chance of this game turning ugly. So once this game turns ugly, he gets pulled. It's the playoffs. They're not going to ride this dude through 5 earned runs. Once you start getting knocked around, especially in Citizens Bank Park, you're going to get pulled out of the game.
So with my standard, yeah, and again, I won't touch Wheeler's strikeout props. He's the one pitcher for the Phillies that I would look twice at. Other than that, I'm not touching Ranger Suarez. I'm not going to touch Aaron Nola. But Wheeler is that guy. And as you pointed out, we can go down the history and see what he's done. 4 innings against the Pirates, and he still has 7 strikeouts in that outing. So he's got the juice. He's got the ability. Plus, we know, amp things up just another tick here. You get in that atmosphere.
That velo goes up, man. That velo goes up 2 miles an hour. That first pitch tonight. Correct. It gets quick. So
the stats, they show it right on the screen.
Yeah. And that's why I think you said the YRFIs were possibly in play. These NRFIs tend to maybe get going a little bit because these guys come out juicing. These pitchers come out throwing hard, especially Wheeler. So I'm not really going to look at either of those, I don't think, tonight. But I am all in favor of a Trey first inning home run or a first inning double or get the Phils on the board early. I think there is a chance if you want to throw a fun prop in. And I think it's kind of a flyer, very good chance of it probably not happening. But if you want to have some fun, Trey Turner first home run. I don't know where. So here it is, right on DraftKings. Trey Turner first home run is plus 700, which is crazy because
you're living dangerously there.
All these other odds are plus 1,500, plus 1,200. Trey, if it just feels like if you want to have a little fun with something, that's one I would maybe look at. That's a fun one for me. I think it could come early in the first. I mean, don't be going out and throwing a crazy ton of money on it. But if you want to have some fun, you want to root for some fun, look at Trey first home run.
Yeah, and if he hits a home run in that first inning, look out.
Bonkers.
I can only imagine. Look, that the pep rally video or the hype video mentioned it, and I think it was Stubbs that said the standing ovation turned the season around. That's going to be a focal point. I don't know if it's going to be game 1, but you bet your ass.
Dude, Fox how about Stubbs, man? Oh my gosh. Did you watch that whole video? Oh
yeah, it was great.
The quote at the end. Oh, it's
Stubbs is going to go down as one of the cooler Philadelphia athletes in our history. Like, again, not much on the field, but he proves his worth off it. And when his number gets called, he does deliver. He does deliver.
Like, you don't need much from a backup catcher. You throw a guy in when your main guy can't play. And
Hey, I'm buying a Jake Elliott jersey. I can't afford
dude,
a
he's the
Stubbs
best.
jersey too. All
He's
right.
one of the best Eagles ever. Best
Damn
Eagles
right.
kicker ever.
All right. Last one for me on tonight's game. Like I said, I think we know what the strength is for this Phillies team, and it's the bomb. It's what they did last year. They mashed. Somebody said that they hit 20 home runs in a series last year in a playoff series.
Yeah, I mean, Schwarber, Hoskins, and Harper combined for 18 total all
Good
playoffs.
grief.
They each had 6.
So was that against
they
the
matched.
Padres and the Marlins? It had to be against the Padres. I wonder how many they hit. Maybe
They hit
I don't think he.
one. Trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What are you, John
They hit
Gruden?
over. I'm going game by dude. I remember every single game so specific. They hit at least over 10 in the Padres series. Yeah.
Wow. So maybe it was just the totality of the playoff run, which we do remember. Anyways, numbers will reflect what we see, of course. We know the odds are going to drop. Tonight, I look at DraftKings and what they're offering from the game line, run line. Total runs for the Phillies over 3.5. You bet your ass I'm taking that. Minus 140. I get it. Juiced up a little bit, but come on, man. Minus 140 is very manageable. Over 3.5. Team total. And then for the total home runs, plus 125 for 2 bops.
Ooh.
So those are my 2. Look, same game parlay. I'm going to have a little action on everything. Over 1.5 home runs, over 3.5 runs total, over 1.5 total bases for Trey Turner. And I'm going to take the Phillies on the run line as well. So it's a 4-legger. I'll get the odds in just a second, but those are my 4 plays for tonight. I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. Game 1, Red October.
I love it. I'm gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna go Phillies minus 1.5. First leg of the parlay. I'm gonna go where total bases at here. I am gonna take Trey Turner over 1.5 bases at plus 125. I'm also gonna look at this Bryson Stott RBI that I was talking about earlier.
Risky.
I'm gonna
I'm
gonna throw that in there as well. So I don't know. Oh, they're saying I can't parlay this. Maybe the RBI. That could be it. Those odds are going to be pretty juiced. So
yeah,
I'm gonna look at the 1.5, the over for Trey, and then I'm gonna look at the RBI for Stott.
Let's screenshot them. We'll put them out a little bit later via the socials, and you can follow along once again. Arcani Luke on socials, and of course at Fox PHL Gambler. All right, game 1 tonight, Red October. Let's get it started with a victory. I know we just bloviated and had some fun there, but it doesn't matter. Throw all out the window. If they win 1-0, we'll take it. If they win 11-10, we'll take it. Let's go. Just
need a win.
13 wins. Is that what it is
more
again?
Topper. Yeah, that's what they say.
13 more
night.
Topper. That's
it.
Let's do it. All right, quickly on this, though, because I am really intrigued by some of these other matchups. Yeah,
love it.
Great. Playoff baseball. Love the day games. Let's go. Texas and Tampa Bay. Montgomery, decent pitcher, but I just think it's too much for them to go into the Rays and everything that they have in the bullpen. I think the Trot will be rocking. I'm going to go the Rays here. It's not my favorite play, but I would take the Rays. I would even look at them at minus 1.5 for plus 145. Again, very dangerous because we know the Texas offense is potent, but when it comes to pitching, I think Tampa Bay will be able to manage as well and get some numbers up. So I like Tampa Bay. 7.5. You bet your ass I'm taking the over on 7.5. Anything for you, 3:08 p.m. first pitch?
I'm going to look at some hitter props, specifically on the Rangers side. I still can't really tell who wins this game. I like this. I'm feeling more of the stars on the side of the Rangers, but I like Glass now way more than Montgomery. So I am going to look towards Adolis Garcia. His home run odds are plus 340. You can also look down to hits. Him to record a hit is minus 165. It's not even worth looking at Gus Seeger to get a hit. He's like minus 285 for one hit. You could look at him over 1.5 bases, which is plus 110. I do like that as well for Seager. But my main other plays are really in the Brewers Diamondbacks game.
All right, we'll get there in a second. Hang on, let's go down the list here. So Texas, Tampa Bay, nothing as far as that game is concerned for the winner. You're going to stay away from Tampa.
It's kind of a toss-up. I would probably look towards the over, but I don't really love a certain team today. I would probably lean Rays, even though I do kind of want the Rangers to win that series. But I would probably lean Rays in this game. Yeah.
Okay, right there with you on that one. Probably not anything but the total on that one. 7.5, 308 first pitch. So right out the chute, got to get some action on that one. Toronto and Minnesota. This has been well documented. The last time the Minnesota Twins won a playoff game was back in 2004 when Johan Santana went up against Mike Mussina for the New York Yankees and beat them. They didn't go on to win that series. Since then, they have lost 18 straight postseason baseball games. What changes here tonight? I don't see it. It's in Minnesota. I'm sure the place could be rocking. I think the Blue Jays get it going here. I think they click. They got a lot of big names that are primed for this spot right here. Another low number at 7.5. I just think that we're going to see an over on the total here. And I do like one play here. It's the Blue Jays. Where do you stand?
So I am on the same page with you. I do think it's going to turn into 19 games in a row. I like the Blue Jays at plus 100. I like the over 7.5, and I like over. I believe it's at 6.5 strikeouts for Kevin Gausman. Yeah, so he is at over 6.5. The over is at minus 145. He has struck out over 6.5 batters 17 times this season. So I am going to roll, which is over half of his starts. He has hit that number. So I am going to look at that as well. I do like the Blue Jays. I just don't think the Twins are that good. I think they're okay. I think they have a few good arms, but I don't think they can really keep up with this Blue Jays team. I think the Blue Jays can mash, and I think they have some really good arms up there. So I am going to lean with Toronto as well today.
All right, final play here, Diamondbacks and Brew Crew. You said you got a couple plays, so I'm not going to waste any time. Huge deal for the fact that the Brew Crew not getting their horse, Woodruff, in game one, really came on strong after coming back from that injury. It's just something that I never thought was going to happen. I paid attention to the Brewers, but I knew that they weren't going to be a first-round matchup, so I kind of put them in the distance in the backdrop. Apparently, Woodruff had some shoulder issues. They pulled him. They didn't let him pitch that final week. Now he's not going to go in the wild card round, and some are saying that if they get him back, it would be a miracle. I'm not believing it. That could be a huge deal breaker for this team, but Burns is a pretty damn good pitcher in his own right. Diamondbacks unable to go with Gallen or Kelly in game one here. Total in at 8. I like the under here, and we got to like the Brew Crew. Where do you stand in this game?
Yeah, so I do like the Brewers, but I like their team total under 4.5. I'm going to look at that today. That is at minus 130. I am also looking at the, where did it go? Come on. First 5 innings, Milwaukee Brewers money line, first 5 innings, minus 195. It is a bit of a hefty number, but I do like the Brewers to be leading with the pitching matchup advantage to start as well. One more play I do like from a player prop standpoint. I am going to look at Christian Yelich to record an RBI at plus 195. He has had, I believe, 60 of his RBIs this year have been against right-handed pitchers, and he crushes righties. So I'm going to look at Yelich today to record an RBI as well.
Excellent stuff. All right, Luke Arcani. Be sure to follow him at Arcani Luke. He's always got some historical tweets. There you go. In the chamber, ready to go. I'm sure he's locked and loaded for tonight. Where can we see you? Where are you at? Where's your section? Where are you going to be
at? We're up top. We're in 305, I think, out in right field, but not a bad seat in that place. So no matter. We'll be waving rally towels. We'll be screaming. We'll be getting into it. So
nothing better than that rally towel in a red October. Let's go. Luke, enjoy the game. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Looking forward to covering all postseason long with you. Hopefully the Phillies go on a nice little run on their own here and keep everybody focused. But I know this much. We're going to be over every game and giving people the best insight around when it comes to gambling on all of these games. Once again, DraftKings Sportsbook, be sure to use Brace as the promo code. For Luke Arcani, I am Sean Brace. This is Luke and I on the Phillies. Go Phils.
Go Phils.